Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another episode of Delve Requisite out there in YouTube land. I am your Dungeon Master, Matt. I never introduce myself or you guys when we start this, do I? I should start doing that, huh? I am your... Well, it's written directly under my face, huh, isn't it? So that's sort of superfluous. I am your Dungeon Master, Matt, joined as always by one of my two parties of hapless adventurers here on Delve Requisite. Today we are joined by the Fools Errant, Alar, Brahm, Walter, not Osrius. That is in fact guest star Velza or Don, who is with us tonight. If you guys will think back to where we were last time, the party is in the capital city of Mithlindian, the city of Niviria, which is currently under attack by an invading force of Ignian Imperial shock troopers, essentially. The party has right place, right time sort of situation while investigating on behalf of the king a suspected plot of treachery by a member of parliament. The party managed to destroy Niviria's teleportation hub, preventing further forces from entering into the city, but not before nearly 1,000 soldiers managed to pour through the hijacked portal and begin storming the city. The party has exited the teleportation network, is making their way through the city. They hold up with the Ordinum Libri's, the head of the Ordinum Libri's enclave here, one Darl Erickson, who put them up while they rested and recouped from their battle in the transit network. Then they made their way onward towards the gate that will take them from out of the ambassador's ward and into the guild ward as they attempt to make their way through the Grand Plaza and back up into the upper ward where they know that the Parliament building is currently under attack by the Ignian forces trying to seize the city. They have rejoined forces with Inquisitor Lianna Highhaven of the Mithlindian Royal Army, Velza or Dan's senior officer, who informed them that thanks to their messages, she and Sir Tyrus Luther were able to save the king from a surprise attack within the Parliament building of traitorous guards, home guard type individuals, but not before a massacre took place in the Parliament building, and hold off the traitors from killing the loyal members of Parliament as well as the king, who are currently barricaded within the parliamentary building, defending themselves. Captain Tyrus Luther is with the king and with Tabitha Delker there, while Lianna Highhaven was able to escape the Parliament building, get word to the castle, and rally the city's defenses in time enough to secure the castle and to get a defending force to the essentially the gate leading between the Grand Plaza and the Upper Ward. So you guys currently know that roughly half of the Ignian invading force has taken the Grand Plaza and is currently embattled with the defending Nivirian soldiers who are holding the gate, keeping them at bay. If you guys actually look on stream there, and for the audience who's looking here, the purple dot is your guys' current location at the gate between the Ambassador's Ward and the Guild Ward. The white dot is the Ignian invading forces that have gathered there. You know about half of them have gathered there, and about the other half are currently sweeping the city, like overrunning and torching guard posts, killing guards and defenders and things like that, but otherwise are leaving the city like unraided and pillaged. The blue dot is the Nivirian Royal Defenders holding the top of the plaza and the gate into the upper ward. The blue dot is the Parliament building, where you know somewhere within a battle is taking place between Kingsguard loyalists and the traitors, along with Sir Tyrus Luther, the king, and Tabitha Delker. And then obviously the big circle in the middle is Castle Mithlindian, which has been like locked down and is being fortified currently. Lianna Highhaven explained. Thank you for the clip. DM figures out his name. Lianna Highhaven has explained that Sir Tyrus Luther's plan is to try and hold off the defenders long enough to effect an escape from the Parliament building and retreat within the confines of Castle Mithlindian and the keep there, and then essentially hope to hold off the invaders long enough for Mithlindian reinforcements to be recalled from elsewhere within the kingdom to retake the city. So your current goal, as we last left, was to find a way to reconvene with Sir Tyrus Luther and King Roland Aldo of Mithlindian, help them to effect an escape from the parliamentary building to Castle Mithlindian, and then figure out your next steps from there to hopefully get out of the city. Before we begin tonight's episode, now that the recap is complete, let us take a quick second to remind you guys that this episode of Delve Requisite and Proficiency Bonus are sponsored, as always, by Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games. You can type !Little Dragon or !CCG into chat at any point during tonight's stream to get a link to either of those websites, where you can check out the fine goods that they have to offer. Little Dragon Corp, a Canadian-based dice company. You can get 10% off of anything that you order from their website with our code PROBONUS at checkout. And Little Dragon Corp is a Georgia-based tabletop games store, brick and mortar location being in Evans, Georgia, in the United States, where most of us are located. And if you are not located near there, worry not. They have a robust website that you can order things and have them shipped directly to your location. So thank you, Cardboard Castle Games. Thank you, Little Dragon Corp. And let us get underway with tonight's episode of Delve Requisite. Okay, you guys are standing in the gate, the gatehouse between the Ambassador's Ward and the Guild Ward. There are a whole mess of dead guards, dead Ignian soldiers that you guys messed up on your way in. Osrius is in fact with you still, even though his player is not here. And Lianna Highhaven has rejoined you and just finished outlining the situation for you. So she kind of looks over the group of you and she says, you do all appear to have been through quite a bit tonight, but are any of you seriously injured? Is there anyone who is unable to continue on from here?
A little banged up, and I do apologize. We weren't able to keep our word. We couldn't keep the lieutenant in the condition that you lent her to us.
She kind of smiles grimly and she says, all things being considered, I will forgive the discretion and take solace enough in the fact that she is at least alive and in one piece.
Yeah, she's very much not dead twice. You're welcome.
Yeah, that was. I point at Brahm and I go, "That thanks to him." And then we took a little break and feeling better now, but it was not good for a minute there.
All right. I assume that you've got a way back into the inner ward.
She says, I have an idea of a way back in. Unfortunately, the way that I made my way out is no longer available to us. I was able to slip past as the defenders were setting up before the majority of the Ignian forces arrived at the Grand Plaza. I fear that I will our way that way will be barred. But there is I am told one other way that we can effect our return into the upper ward.
You'll pardon the joke, but I'm all ears.
She says, she kind of like looks at the group of you and she says, "How averse are you to getting a little dirtier tonight?"
Oh,
Walter
we're going that
Walter
way.
takes his shovel out. Just ready. Actually, I need a prop shovel.
Why prop shovel when you can just get a real shovel?
I mean, a real shovel for a prop.
Ah.
Best I can do is this later.
She says, "There is a way to bypass the battlement that surrounds the upper ward and make our way inward and upward without having to bypass the gate in the Grand Plaza. It will require us gaining access to the sewer system."
Not that whole death option. maybe that's not so bad.
Come on, it's only a city of what?
Not the worst way I've gotten into
30,000?
or out of place. Close, but not the worst.
If they don't have any fatbergs in there, that'd be upsetting.
Well, thank you for that image.
Look, I'm used to slinging bullshit, not walking in it. So
she sort of like, she grimaces. She says, I assure you no happier about the prospect than you are, but unless any of you have any other thoughts on how we may, she kind of like gestures, and you can see it from where you are, the wall that like surrounds the upper ward. You know that the upper ward is like elevated above the next outer ring by about 50 feet, and then the wall above that is like about another 50 feet up. So you're, from the level that you guys are on in the city, it's about 100 foot of wall straight up to get over if you're not going through the gate. So, she kind of like, she points and says, unless any of you have means or an idea on how to bypass the wall at a point away from any of the fighting that's going on, the sewer may be the only option.
I might.
He says, I am, if you'll pardon my expression, all ears.
I can make 2 people fly.
Walter's gonna start counting people that are here.
And those people could carry other people, I suppose. Specifically, if we could make Oz fly, he can carry. We can make him a sky bus.
Oz away! What is Oz's carry weight? He has large build.
It's definitely like up to 1,000 pounds.
Does anybody with their gear weigh more than 250 pounds?
Probably, no, not even the Inquisitor, even if he was wearing full plate.
Which she is not. She has traded like several pieces of her full regalia. She still has like, you can see she has like a breastplate on, but like she has removed a lot of the rest of her her armor so that she can move quickly and quietly. And you remember that she had like replaced it with like a heavy cloak that she had over and pulled up.
All right. So Oz 1.
Probably Brahm 2.
Either that or the Inquisitor herself. I assume that she's strong.
Yeah, I mean,
lift?
fairly. She's not. I guess put it this way, for an elf, she is like pretty athletic in build. Which means she's still, probably like a lot wirier than your like athletically built human would be. But you think she's probably fit enough to lift somebody for at least a short time if she needs to.
Well, let's see. Oz carries 2 or 3.
If we fly, though, doesn't that use some of your magic? And then also we're flying in hopefully quietly enough that we're not seen, but if we are, we can get literally shot out of the sky.
I can't make you invisible this time.
Exactly.
I can either make 2 people fly or 1 person fly and invisible.
That does no good.
And if we make 1 person fly and invisible, you just have a bunch of people hanging on to nothing. We don't have to do the flying thing. That was just a suggestion.
We
Like
might want to save that as a emergency get
I
out.
think that's a get out versus get in. As much as I don't want.
Inquisitor Highhaven. How frequently does this city clean out the sewers?
She says large portions of them are relatively unused, as they are. Much of it is reliquaries of the city upon which the Niviria, as it stands today, was built. The Ignian city, which stood here before.
Forgive me, I'm used to Velondian cities, which are all contract employment, which means people have to get paid, which means people don't do it because nobody wants to pay, and it's an absolute tragedy up there. I'm for the sewers in this case. It's probably quieter and safer, less visible. And let's save some resources.
She kind of nods. She says, "I will defer to your expertise in this matter. We should make as much haste as possible. In that case, time is of the essence. The defenders will not hold the courtyard forever."
Then let's find the nearest entrance to the sewer and try to make it out and get in quietly, close the thing behind us, and no one notices.
She nods and she says, "Very well," and pulls her hood back up over her head, turns and heads down the street. She is. I'm gonna make a stealth roll for her. She is. You can kind of tell she's hugging corners, sticking to the the shadows as much as she can. She is making an attempt to move quickly but quietly throughout the streets, trying to listen and look for any roving patrols of Ignians.
Were any of the elven soldiers armed with ranged weapons?
Let's see.
That's another thing I was thinking of. I think Walter's Elvish is a giveaway.
These guys that you encountered here. My notes say they weren't, but I do think that a couple of them had crossbows that they were shooting at you guys. So let's say that a couple of them have light crossbows.
Yeah, I'll grab one in one of their quivers.
Okay. Let's say you pick up a crossbow with 10 bolts of ammunition in it.
Sweet. Load it and throw it on my back, and off there we go.
Cool. What were you asking, Jason?
I decided it's more of a not relevant right this second, but Walter probably learned Elvish from a local dwarf, so he speaks Elvish with a dwarven accent.
Cool.
So he can't really smooth talk his way out of it, Ignian.
Sure. Alrighty, so Lianna Highhaven kind of leads the way. She is going to make a stealth check. Anybody else who is attempting to be stealthy can do so.
Ouch. That's a 12.
Okay.
Say 13.
Alrighty.
For Tuesday, since it's Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Can we do crits on a 2 and a 20?
Did you just roll a 2?
No, I rolled an 11 plus 2.
How
I'm
about
not gonna
this?
ask.
How about
I'm not
this?
gonna ask it after I roll.
Crits are only 2s tonight.
Okay.
You crit
Okay.
on a natural 2 tonight instead of a natural 20. Doesn't change the odds at all, but it's fun.
Nope.
That's gonna confuse me so bad.
Is a 20? Is a 20 a 2 then?
No, don't do this to me.
No, a 20 is still a 20. It's just not a crit.
Fair enough.
Okay. We're gonna roll more 20s tonight
This
than
is
we
gonna
have
be the night
ever
of
rolled in our
20s.
lives.
Exactly. Don't-
Hey.
I got a 17 total stealth.
I forgot to roll.
Good.
I got too distracted by the 2 thing. 17 plus 7.
Okay.
So a lot.
Alright, I'm going to make a series of rolls as you guys move through the city streets here. Getting my blood dice out.
You gotta celebrate Tuesday as much as we can.
Okay.
Yes, it is Tuesday, my dudes.
I'm gonna be so upset with the amount of 20s we're gonna roll.
You guys make your way quickly and quietly down the streets of Niviria, which are quiet as the grave as you move along. The denizens of the city have shut themselves securely in their homes and are staying off the streets as the Ignian soldiers move throughout the city. In the distance, you do begin to hear these sounds of aggression and combat, where it's been quiet up to this point. But the further on you move, it starts to become apparent that you are getting closer to the Grand Plaza, where currently the battle to be taking place between the city's invaders and those defending the Upper Ward. Lianna Highhaven leads you towards one of the large offshoot plazas that flank the Grand Plaza. You kind of, as you're looking around, you see there is a large workshop that looks to be like a cartwright, somebody who like makes wagons and carts and things like that. There is a lot of like carpentry and woodworking and logging and things like that. You get the impression that this is sort of like the woodworkers portion of the guild wards here. She brings you down a side street where you see evidence of a hapless group of Mithlindian city watchmen whose path intersected the invading Ignians. A group of 3 lightly armed and armored guards who you would assume had just been on a patrol, have been slain and were just kind of like dragged off to the side of the street and just kind of like propped against the side of a house out of the way. There is sound up ahead of you as you round a corner and move onto another side street. You hear the kind of like the clink of armor and like sword scabbard, and you hear a dog approach the dungeon master. You see a group of about 5 Ignian soldiers who are gathered around the interior wall, or the wall that leads straight up, barricading off the upper ward from where you guys are now. As you will, remember of Niviria's architecture, these circular walls with these like offset gates. These are structures that have stood here longer than the current city of Niviria. These are structures that are Invarian in make and design. They are that strange metallic sort of champagne colored alloy that you have seen in certain like Invarian structures and ruins. They are clearly like quite long lasting, though not impervious to the degradation of time. As you know, portions of the wall here have been destroyed and rebuilt with newer materials. And you come across a portion here where there is like a fissure sort of in the wall where this alloy material meets a patch of like newer stone mortar that was put in at some point to like repair a piece of wall. And they seem to be discussing something and like examining this, like where this union between these two pieces of wall are. So you guys are, I'll move your guys' dot to give you an idea of where you're at. You are probably 3 or 4 blocks yet from like where the main battle is taking place in the courtyard. So you're getting like a little precariously close to the action here, but you're still a ways off. And this small group of soldiers seems to be like peeled away from the main fighting, where the Ignians are trying to like force a spearhead of invaders through this gate. And they are looking at this wall. But with your stealth checks and the perception checks I rolled for them, you guys managed to like get up within sight of them. And Lianna Highhaven like kind of puts up a hand and gets everybody positioned around walls, like looking at them without being spotted. She gestures down the street and then to the left of like where those guys are standing. And she kind of turns back to you, and beneath her hood, she mouths, "The entrance is there."
Do we want to take him out, or do we need to bypass?
We're not going to be able to sneak past them.
She says, "Is there any way we could draw them off without having to fight them?"
I might be able to
Yes.
distract them.
I have the dancing lights.
I got a better idea. Not that that's a bad one, but I got a better idea. Alar is going to peel off from the group. Tell them, wait here. They when most or all of them are drawn off, try to sneak past. I'll rejoin you shortly.
Okay.
Of course, that closed out my character. So,
Go ahead and make a stealth roll as you peel off from the group and head.
oh,
head
good
where
God.
you're heading.
That's an 11. I have
Okay.
Did you roll a 2?
no. I rolled a 4.
No.
Otherwise, it would be crit. But you can't crit a check.
No, you technically cannot crit a skill check. So an 11, you say. Okay. One guy would have rolled a crit on his thing, but we're not doing crits tonight. Okay, so you head. How are you approaching? Describe your kind of your.
I'm going to peel off toward a side street and conceal myself in an alley or some area that is off of that that street and wall that they're on.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Minor Illusion to make the sound of several armed people advancing.
Okay.
So the clinking of armor, drawn swords, might be the muttering of voices.
Okay. All right. Let's.
And although it's an illusion, because I am hidden from them, they don't get the elven benefit of rolling twice for a charm effect or an illusion.
Okay.
So the save
Interesting. Okay.
is 15.
Okay. So, here's how this plays out. You peel off from the group. You move. You take an alleyway that takes you off of the kind of side street that the group is currently hiding on, to the next block over, and then you make your way down to the end of the street, so that you are at a corner, kind of a corner shop front. There's a glass window that's sort of, the door is like right catty corner on the corner, and there's glass windows that extend, down both streets, and you kind of come up crouched low down below the shop window, and you can peek your head up and look through the shop window out the other shop window in the other corner and see them about 15 feet, 20 feet, down a little bit, examining this structural weak point in the wall. You look past a bunch of racks of interesting looking hats in the shop window of this, and sort of peer over at these guys who are kind of standing. Yes. There are 5 of them in total. 4 of them seem to be like the standard infantry unit, plate armor, swords. One of them is more lightly armored. He has a hefty looking pack that he's wearing on his back, and he is sort of the one, he's kind of standing and he's talking to who looks to be the main guy in charge of the rest of these guards. As you come closer, you kind of see them. You can hear them a little bit better now as you get into position and hunker down, preparing to cast your spell, and you hear them in Ignian. The armored one says, "What do you think? Is it possible? Will you be able to make an opening in this?" And the other one says, I do not know. It is difficult to say. The fissures is a good place that we could place a charge, but these walls are quite thick. I do not know if we have enough to break our way all the way through. If I apply the charge correctly, it is possible, but it is... I would wager it is more likely that I will simply blast quite a bit of debris into the... he kind of leans his head, turns his head back to gesture towards the row of buildings adjacent to this this wall segment. And it's kind of at that point that you then cast your illusion, and the guards all kind of turn in the direction of they hear this coming, and they look at each other, and one of the other guards who had not spoken says, "There was not supposed to be anyone else to come this way, was there? Could it be defenders?" And the original guy says, "No, this is not likely. We have cleared them out of here, but..." And he gestures and he says, you three. Check this way. And he says, he goes like, I thought I saw something in this corner here. And he points, like, pretty close to where you are. And he says, go look. Be on your guard. Shout if there was any problem. And 3 of the guards, or the soldiers, peel off and head that way, leaving the main guy and the guy with the big pack standing behind at the wall. And the 3 who peeled off, Alar, come directly at you.
Okay. One more minor illusion. For basically, from the alley 1 street over. This time, a shout of Ignian! Full back!
Okay.
And I am going to try to use that to make a hasty retreat.
All right. Make another stealth check for me.
Oh, that's better. 19.
19. Okay. I'm gonna make 3 perceptions. So one of them rolled a 2.
Oh shit.
Tuesday, boys and girls. Okay. So, you cast this illusion of this shout, and then you quickly try to scramble back. But one of the approaching Ignian soldiers, who had been kind of pointed in your direction, aimed in your direction, as the first soldier kind of spotted movement as you made that first stealth check and got into position, were crouching down, is looking that way, and as you move back, he shouts out "Sacre bleu!" he goes there. He says, "Stop! You there!" And the 3 of them turn and begin to charge after you.
Can we see this?
No, you guys can't see this. You probably hear all of it, or at least the sort of shouting. I think probably what you guys can see is the 2 Ignians that are still at that fissure in the wall are now fully looking dead that way, away from you guys.
Do it.
I don't know.
Alar is just going to give an uncharacteristically high-pitched scream, and then just start hightailing it.
Okay, so Alar is going to run for it. What are the rest of you guys doing?
If Alar screams, and I'm kind of okay, we're over it. I would like to firebolt the guy with the backpack.
Yes, you would.
And all the explosives.
You bet you would.
Aiming
hit,
for
please.
his backpack.
Let's roll initiative real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to give you guys a surprise round, but just so we have this in hand here.
Boo.
17
Okay.
total.
Also 17 total.
19.
You and I keep going at the same time.
10.
17 is Velza and
Wilter.
Walter. 10 was Brom.
Yeah.
Not so much for my hope of getting past killing the sapper and stealing the charge, but
Roll an initiative
Oh, well.
for Osrius. He has advantage on initiative. Yes,
I
he
believe
does.
so.
Okay, Osrius gets a 20. Okay, so as we enter initiative here, Osrius is going to be the first to act. He's going to hold his action and do nothing. So he's waiting to see. Oh shit! I got to roll for Lianna Highhaven too. All right, she's going to go here.
I left Highhaven the crossbow
Okay.
because I wasn't sure if she had a ranged weapon.
Sure. No problemo. you do that, and it is your turn in initiative. You got 3 Ignians running at you.
I am running away from them, going, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to look! And trying to sound like a Novirian townie that is just running.
Okay.
And hopefully keeping them busy long enough for either the rest of you to make your escape, or... Well, I should know better.
Alrighty. Velza and Walter, you guys are up.
Bolt the backpack, please. 16 to hit him.
16 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage for your firebolt.
About how far away are they?
They're probably 30 or so feet from you guys.
Okay.
8 damage.
8 damage. Okay. Guy with the backpack takes 8 damage. We're gonna roll a percentile dice. Okay. Can I roll this where you guys can see it? Let's see. I can roll this on Osrius's thing, I think, and it should. How do I bring up the dice roller for D&D Beyond?
It should be in the lower left-hand corner of the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna roll a D100. We're gonna give it a 50-50 shot. So 1 to 49. You strike him with the firebolt, and he takes that 8 damage. On a 50 to 100, you hit whatever is in his backpack that he was talking about putting on the wall. With a 52.
Tuesday, my dudes.
It is Tuesday, my dudes. With a 52, you hit. Let's see. How do I do multiples? There we go. You release your firebolt down the alleyway. It streaks as this guy has turned to you. It hits sideways into the backpack that he is carrying on his back. And as the firebolt strikes, the backpack folds kind of inward, and the firebolt plunges into it, and you hear the brief sound of something in there going crunching, cracking, breaking glass almost. And then a fireball just blooms out of this guy's back and absolutely engulfs both him and the guard, the soldier standing with him there. The entire city block is illuminated in bright light for a half a second. Alar, as you're running away and looking back and apologizing to these guards, you see just a plume of fire comes around the side of the building they've just chased you around. The three of them skid to a stop and turn and look back with these with cries of alarm ah! And they turn and run start running back towards where the source of the fire was to see what happened. They give up the chase of you immediately, as they have decided that one random guy is less important than the fireball that just went up across the city block.
Is the armor guy still standing?
So Walter, as the fireball kind of clears, you do not see the guy with the backpack, maybe there's like two charred boots and like a couple of like leg stumps maybe, but like that guy is gone. The other guy, the other soldier,
just a skid mark.
yeah, there is a like a charcoal outline of a guy that like crumbles and blows away. The other guy you see is about 10 feet from where he started. He got slammed like into the wall. His armor, his like white and gold armor, is like charred black in the front. He is slumped like downwards against the wall, and you just kind of see he's sort of like just moving a little bit. So he's alive, it would seem, but he does not appear to be any sort of condition to like put up a fight.
Here's what I want to do with my turn.
Okay.
In the ruins in the basement of this city, I saw ancient Invarian writing.
Yes.
I know what that looks like.
Okay.
Do I recall any words that seemed like vaguely threatening? I think there was like part of one that was like a puzzle. The short version is I'm gonna choose the most threatening word I've seen in ancient Invarian, and I'm going to use Mold Earth to write that on the ground where the explosion was.
Make a no. Don't make anything. What? Yeah, one word. What word do you write on the ground with your Mold Earth?
Soon.
Okay. You write just the carbon left over from that guy like molds itself into the word soon in Invarian on the ground. That is what you do with your turn. The Ignians are going to spend their turn moving back in the direction of the explosion. They are not in sight of you guys yet. They are out of sight, Alar, of you. As soon as all of this takes place within like a second, and as soon as like everything clears, Lianna Highhaven spends like 0.5 seconds like blinking the like after image of the fireball out of her eyes, and she just goes like, "Go!" and sprints down the street, and is going to use her entire action to dash. She's going to run down the street and hang like a sliding left and continue around the corner towards where she indicated the sewer entrance is. That will bring us to Brahm.
Okay. Who's left not disintegrated?
You know that there are 3 soldiers who, like, ran to the right, the opposite way of where you guys are, like, running down the street and going after Alar. And you can probably, like, and you heard the shout from them, like, when the fireball went off, and you can kind of, like, hear them coming back, but you don't have line of sight on them. They are, like 30 feet down the street is where, like, the wall dead ends, and then left is where Highhaven just went, and right is where these guys had gone, and you don't see anybody at this point.
About how long do you think I have until those guys come back?
They will like return to their initial spot, like on their next round. So like seconds.
So not enough time to get out a piece of rope and potentially try and clothesline these dudes. Like, if I just hand one end of the rope to, like, whoever's closest and they go to the other side of the street and hold it low to, like, trip these dudes.
So I think the problem that you're going to run into there is more like the opposite side of the street. Like, you're basically at, like, a T where you guys are on like the long part, the tall part of the T, and the top of the T is like the two. You know, Lianna Highhaven went this way.
Okay, so
and the
there's
other guys went this, and then it's wall on the other side. So there's not like a street for you to cross to like yoink. You know, like because I would let you like hand somebody the end of a rope and use your movement to sprint across, but like there's not really anywhere for you to run to like get across this street.
Okay, in that case. Okay, I'm gonna use one charge on the Bandor. I'm gonna hold my action to wait till wait by the corner and wait for one of these dudes to come.
Okay, so you run down the street and you like put yourself against the corner that you know these guys are about to like run around.
Yes.
And you can so as you get to the corner, you can hear them coming. You got your back against the wall. You hear them coming. You can look down the street and you can see like Lianna Highhaven's back as she's like running away from you that way, and you can hear them coming. So you can use your movement to get there, and you're holding an action to do something with the Bandor?
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. That will bring us to Osrius. Osrius is going to use... I think he's going to use his movement to follow Lianna Highhaven. As... that's probably the simplest situation. So he takes off at a full sprint, like lumbers down the street, turns left the way that she did, and uses his movement to follow her. And he catches up to her pretty easily. His long strides, taking him like one pace for every two of hers. That is going to be what he will do with his turn. Alar, that will bring us to you. You are no longer being pursued. You see that the three pursuers skid to a stop, reverse course, and run back around the building out of the side street that you are on, so you can no longer see the three of them.
I also realized that they've run back right to where my friends are, so I am going to reverse course myself and get back to that corner, peek out, and take a shot at one of them with my hand crossbow.
Roll to hit.
Okay. 15.
A 15 will hit.
Alright. Fortunately, it's not a sneak attack. I'll take it. He takes 6 points of piercing damage.
Alrighty. So what are you taking a shot at with?
Hand crossbow.
Hand crossbow. Okay, this is your hand crossbow, right? Because you gave Highhaven
the one I've gotten way back when from Rogers and the boys.
You do. Oh, that's what's her name's crossbow?
The probably tiefling.
Yes.
The probably tiefling. Her name eludes me right now. Yes. Okay. You take a shot. You successfully hit. You hit one of those guards in the back as they're retreating. They kind of stagger forward, and come up and turn around and see you standing there with your crossbow.
Sorry.
Okay. Anything else?
And yeah, I'm gonna. No, I use my movement to move. Actually, no, I do have the bonus action, so I will start moving back again. I'm hoping to split them up a little bit further and hopefully lead them on a merry chase away.
Okay. You back up again. Make a perception check for me.
26.
Okay. I'll resolve that at the end of the round of combat. Velza and Walter, you guys are up.
I'm gonna book it after Highhaven. I'm
Okay.
just gonna dash.
Alrighty.
Are they? They're not around the other.
They have not.
Around
They have not rounded the corner yet. They are moments from doing so. So like when you run out into like the cross section to like make your left, you see them. They're no more than 15 feet from you.
Gotcha.
Coming that way.
I'm going to yell in Elvish as I run past. I'm going to say, the curse! And then I'm going to just keep running.
Okay. And Velza,
which canonically, my Elvish sounds like I learned Elvish from a Scotsman. So the accent is awful.
I'm gonna run after him.
Mm-hmm.
Screaming, I am the curse, and
Okay.
and as I chase, I'm gonna go only like just my 30 feet of movement. But when I hear them, see them, I'm gonna pretend like I was kind of like chasing Walter, but then I see them, and I'm gonna turn and firebolt one of them that's still running.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Why can I never remember what my pluses are? It's 15. That hits, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I don't know what the hell to do with snake guns.
Firebolt.
That's 14 points of damage.
You round the corner. I am the curse. Boom! And you like Kamehameha a firebolt down the street, and it like the guard like running the tip of the spear. The three of them, there's one in the lead, two flanking him on either side. One is kind of in the process of staggering and turning around as like a crossbow bolt hits him. But the lead one charges and catches your firebolt with his face. And he's just like, and his legs come out from under him as the momentum carries him like vertical or horizontal, and then he just like hits the ground, bounces once, and like rolls into like a smoking heap, and does not get back up.
For fun, I'm going to like hiss growl at the ones that are still coming, and just stand my ground. I'm not leaving Brom.
Okay. That will bring us to the Ignians. The remaining two Ignians come skidding skid to a stop, and they both unsling shields and like pull shields up and sort of like phalanx with each other. One of them kind of facing towards you, Walter. One of them facing towards Velza. And they begin to like sort of shimmy sidestep sideways, kind of like making their way, closing ranks to where the burnt up, still living remaining member is, as they basically just attempt to they're not pursuing anybody anymore, as like at this point they keep getting attacked from like different angles, so they close ranks and begin to like move into try and like take a defensive formation, putting their back to the wall. Brom, that is going to like bring them not at a sprint anymore. Now they're kind of like in lockstep, sort of like moving, but they do like cross the threshold of the corner that you are like hiding behind.
Okay, quick question. Because of the events that just happened, am I allowed to slightly modify my held action?
As far as you told me, your held action was to do something with the Bandor. So within the context of that, you can do that.
Okay.
Oh, come on, do it.
That's what I was gonna do, but I had a better idea for a different magical item. That I wish I had thought of before I declared my held action.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Will it be rad?
Yes. It will
Okay.
be
Yes.
dope as hell.
Then my official ruling is that you can do it.
Okay.
Only if it will be dope as hell.
As that all unfurls, Walter is running, screaming, "The curse, the curse." Velza shows up, says, "I am the curse," and firebolt. As soon as they cross the threshold, Brom is lowering his head, and he says, Curse Part 2, the Cursening! And I ram horn them with the ram horn hat.
Hell yeah. Alright, do you have the stat block for that item?
Yeah. It does... I have to roll to hit.
Yep, roll to hit.
So that's a...
And I'm gonna say because of the way that they've like interlocked, if you hit the one closest to you, it will like
23.
That definitely hits. You will blast them into the other one.
Okay. It does 2d10 force damage. Oh, I actually don't have a d10 out, so I'm gonna have to roll it. And it does 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. Okay.
As
Does it do additional damage if they hit anything, like afterwards?
Let me see. I don't know.
This is based off the Ring of the Ram, right?
Yeah, it's just the Ring of the Ram.
They're pushed 5 feet. It says nothing about additional damage, so I think that it falls under DM for
So
review.
here's what happens. They come around, shields up. You deliver your one-liner, and you like thrust your head forward and deliver like a headbutt. And as you deliver a headbutt, it's a top hat or a bowler hat?
It's a top
What did you
hat.
have made?
It's a top hat with the ram horns on the
horns.
side.
So you
Like
like
spectral ram.
stomp your foot down and thrust your head forward, and like from like the curled ram horns, there is this like pulse of like ghostly, vaguely bluish energy as this like kinetic energy just like charges up and then like erupts out of the top hat.
Yeah, it does take the form of a gigantic spectral ram head.
Yep, and a big
That's what it
old
does.
Patronus ram head just like slams into the lead guy's shield. And it hits him with such force that it drives his like shield arm back and like crushes it into him. And the top of his shield comes like gets driven up and like
Ugh.
into his own throat. And so you basically like crush his trachea with his own shield. And he just like is slammed backwards 5 feet, hits the other guy who like was back to back with him. The guy that you hit directly crumples to the ground dead, like almost instantaneously. The other guy will roll and fails to keep his footing. He is like knocked sprawling flat. He gets his shield under him and like tucks and hits the ground shield first with an awful like scrape of metal on cobblestones, and then like rolls kind of like propped up on an elbow. But he is down prone, and the guy that you actually hit with the ram strike is dead instantaneously.
Cool.
Anything else with your turn?
That was their turn.
Oh, that was their turn. That's
that
right.
was my held action.
Okay. It's Lianna Highhaven's turn. She does something that I guess Osrius and Walter you kind of see. She runs like halfway down the block that she's on and hits a sealed. It's set against the wall at like a 45-degree angle. It's like a round, looks like just wide enough for like Osrius to maybe get like somebody might have to like give him a push to get through. But it is this like big stone, like an entrance to like a pipe, and it has a metal grate sealed on top of it. She like reaches this and skids to a stop right there. That will bring us to Brahm's turn.
Cool. So is that dude still like just laying there?
There's a guy who's like, yeah, you have just knocked a guy like on his ass, using his like another guy as a battering ram, basically.
Okay. I'm not gonna waste the Bandor charge. I'm just going. I think I'm just gonna go stab
Okay.
him.
Roll to hit. You have advantage as he is prone.
We'll see if I need to do other things, depending on how well he gets stabbed. Well, the first thing is like 23.
To hit? Yes, that hits.
So let me see if I wait. Let me see if I roll
See
a
if
2.
you roll a 2.
I did. Oh, I've never been so happy to roll a 2. There it is, folks.
There it is, 2.
You're not gonna be able to. It's not gonna autofocus, but it's there. It is.
Oh, I see it. I believe you. All right.
He was
Okay.
Damage.
Yeah, right. Oh, that was to hit. Whoops, I didn't hit. I meant to hit damage. Okay, so that's 5 damage,
Okay.
And it's doubled for a crit.
and then doubled, so it's 10. Do you want me to just double it or roll it again?
Doubling it is fine.
Okay, so 10. Is he still alive?
He is still alive. You
Okay, then I'm
Like-
gonna
gut stab him, and he like
use a bonus action, or use a bardic inspiration. I mean to,
Psychic daggers.
psychic blades. Yeah, I couldn't
Psychic
remember.
blades.
Where is psychic blades?
Should be under
There it
class
is.
features.
2 psychic blades. That's another 3d6.
Can you roll lower than a 1?
That's 12 points of psychic damage on top of that.
So you thrust your rapier into this guy. You like wedge it between like the pieces of his plate armor. You sink into him until you hear the like clink of the end of the blade hit the cobblestone like on the other side of him. And he's sort of like clutches at this blade, and you just twist and send a pulse of bardic energy down through the blade, which pulses, and he just sort of gives one hefty, and a bunch of blood comes out of his mouth, and he falls dead to the ground.
Before he dies, just before the twist, I will have leaned in close and said, "The curse was the friends we made along the way."
Okay. He has just enough time. He goes, "What?" And he dies. That is Brom's turn. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So at the end of the round of combat here, Alar, your perception check from earlier. For a half a second, you kind of think you're like, am I still doing my minor illusion? No, I'm not, right? And you realize you are hearing the rapidly approaching, like, clank and rumble of a large group of armed individuals coming down the street from the direction of the High Plaza where, like, the main fighting is happening, in the direction that your friends just shot a 2-story fireball into the air.
All right. Well, I am cursing, not curse, and I am going to dash, around the corner, past them, past the several dead people. I will take a parting crossbow shot at the poor bastard who is just lying there, half dead.
Roll to hit. At disadvantage because he's prone and you're taking a range shot.
Oh, it's
Clean
in that
miss.
one.
Yeah, nat 1. So clean miss, just being go.
We have created a situation for ourselves where you could roll with disadvantage and get a crit because of it.
Look, I don't make the rules of Tuesdays.
Okay,
but
so you
no,
just
it
you
was-
just fire off a shot. You sprint down the road. You kind of like you run past Brahm, and you hear like you like as you run past him, you hear like friends we made along the way. As you just
Yeah,
keep going.
I'm literally dragging him like, come on, come on.
Okay. Velza and Walter. That brings us to you guys.
Set it up Gary's way. Bleh. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
How far-
It's actually Osrius first.
Is he shimmying down the tube?
I missed him because I read Alar I gave Alar his perception check, but we skipped Osrius's turn in that thing. So Osrius's turn is to run up to High Haven, and she like just as he comes, she just goes like, and it just points at the grate, and he was like. And he's gonna hunker down, and he had to use his dash to get there, but he'll prepare on his next round to try and pull that grate open. Then Alar does his thing running. Then it's Velza and Walter's turn.
How far is it from us?
Probably. You guys were like more or less even with Osrius, so like a dash will get you to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna dash. Good.
Okay.
I'm not gonna waste my time trying to kill the lone survivor. There's a warning on the floor. It'll last for an hour. It's fine.
Okay. Velza.
City, how far is the guy that's dying from me?
No more than 30 feet or so.
I am in the mindset of no survivors because he could tell them what we look like, so he is getting firebolted.
Roll the hit.
Get out of my city!
Is it disadvantage because he's prone?
Yes.
Roll a two. Roll a two. Roll a two.
No, unfortunately no. 16 plus 6 to hit. So
Okay, yes, that will hit.
7 points of damage to him.
Okay.
Dead.
He's not. You hit him with a firebolt. He goes like, ah!
I will start backing up.
I have been burnt
Oh, get over
very
yourself.
badly.
I feel like refried beans.
I'm going to start backing up, but like my movement, my one set of movement, but I'm still waiting for Brahm to clear.
Okay. So that's Walter. That brings us to the Ignian's turn. So the one remaining guy, he's just like, you would think after all of the venting site had been burned off, it would not hurt so much, but it's very painful. I am burning so much. That's his turn. Highhaven is going to hold her action.
He's casting a strange spell.
Jump through the thing when Osrius pulls it open, and Braum, that brings us to you. So everybody else has like sprinted down the path there. Most of the party is like gathered around this grate that you can see. Velza's a little further behind as she's dallying behind to like continue to shoot fire onto this guy.
Do I have to dash to get to the grate?
You, from where you are, yeah, you're gonna have to dash and then take a regular move because you're further
Okay.
away than everybody else was.
I'm just gonna dash.
Okay. So you go running past, you run past the burned Ignian. I'm not quite dead yet. I'm partly burned, but I'm still alive.
Can I kick him as I run by?
Uh,
Strike.
Yeah. Well, no, you can
kick him.
flavor-wise kick him if you're gonna dash. You just kick. Oh no! I think you broke one of my ribs. They were very.
Why won't
brittle.
you die?
They were very brittle from all of the burnings that I took. I went from being French to being vaguely German during the fire. I don't know what happened. And that will bring us to Osrius, who is going to make a strength check. Oh my god! I think he probably is still flying because he's so damn strong. What's his athletics?
He should have advantage on athletics, I think.
He does. He rolled a 1 and a 10. But luckily he has a +8 on athletics, so he gets an 18, and he just like wrenches the grate open with a kind of a awful shriek of metal as it is like bent. There's not like a hinge. He just like bends the whole thing up, like peels it open like a can, just sort of like. And he goes, "Okay, open." And the held action of Highhaven will go off. She will like slip in. Is anybody doing anything besides like running into this thing at this point? Because we can just get out of combat if that's the
No,
case.
I'm just mad, so I'll start running away.
I can take 2 I'm close enough that I can get there in like a regular move, so I'll just take my 2 Eldritch Blasts at the last.
Sure.
corpse guy.
Roll 2.
Someone's got it. Yeah, I'll dash to get there while he shoots at him.
So
It's-
the first one disadvantage is
17?
a
I just
10.
wanna
No, it's a
point
10.
Oh, sorry. That doesn't
That
hit.
chat said, "And I kick her, sir," from Bardock, which may or may not be what the entire cast was quoting before
may
going
or
live.
may not be the most
It-
unbelievable callback made by somebody who was not present for like the conversation. We
I don't know how to say this, but remember that situation where we were talking about where like
Was your second-
Schrodinger's crit.
Was your second
The second one
roll?
was a natural 20 and a 2.
Oh, you crit.
That's how I'm gonna crit either way.
Don't
Happy
you mean
Tuesday.
a natural 2?
I got a
Happy
natural
Tuesday.
2. All right. So the second one's a crit, 1d10 crit. No, not 2d10 crit, you clown.
I can't believe that happened. What
Hold on a second. All right. 7 points of force damage, and then I'll jump down the pipe.
The Eldritch Blast streaks down the street, slams into that guy who's like rolled over, is now like smashed face down on the ground, and you guys begin to climb into the pipe.
I just realized the reason it did 2d10 was because it was a crit.
That
Nice.
was supposed to be 11.
So it was 11 points of damage. It was correct. I thought it was being dumb, but I was being dumb.
That's fine.
So it's 11 points. So either way, he's probably a corpse now. Or just a very
You guys
dirty boy.
climb into the pipe. Osrius goes last. He sort of like squeezes, shimmies his way, and then like bends the grate back in place behind him, and you guys begin to like shimmy down this like 45-degree angle stone pipe that is descending down beneath the street. And as you guys are kind of descending down, making your way down from like up outside of the pipe out on the street, you hear, "Oh no, I'm face down and I can't put myself back up and I'm still alive. I'm very badly hurt.
God
I think
damn it! I was
I'm going to try to push myself up onto my elbows. Oh no, they're very badly burned. I shouldn't have done that. Not so much.
See, I should have asked beforehand whether or not that did the job. Otherwise, I was going to cast Toll the Dead.
You do also hear the sound of like 20 Ignian soldiers like rushing into the area that you guys just vacated.
That's fair.
So you slip down and descend into the darkness.
As long as they get the message.
So you guys climb down what you perceive to be about 30-40 feet maybe, at kind of a pretty steep angle, and you jump. You at the bottom you kind of hear Lianna Highhaven sort of calls up from beneath you guys. She says I've reached the end of the tunnel. There's a drop of about 10 feet at the end, leading to a stone floor below. and then you kind of hear the shuff, and a second later the tap tap of her jumping out of the pushing herself out of the end of this tunnel and landing on a stone floor beneath you, and it sort of like echoes off into like a long tunnel, it sounds like, in either direction.
Is the tunnel, the access tunnel we're like shimmying through, is any part of it like loose dirt or like slightly decayed tunnel?
Nah, think of it as like concrete almost.
I figured, but if it was if any of it was in disrepair, I was gonna try to collapse part of it.
Not the part that you're in, no. As you guys all sort of like get out, those of you with dark vision / goggles of night, in Walter's case, you can sort of see you are in a tunnel that is maybe 10 feet in diameter. The lower portion of it is there's like 2 inches of sort of like standing gunk in the bottom of it. It smells not great, but it smells like it's definitely like kind of like decayed, like algae and sort of like plant matter. It seems like this has been like rainwater and stormwater, and just like gutter gunk comes down here as opposed to like active sewage.
I'm gonna turn to Velza real fast, and like as we get a nice waft of this smell down here, no more firebolt. Just, I'd like to live.
Understood.
Hey, Laura,
Anything that's not fire.
Take a look
please.
around, take a sniff.
Yeah.
Not as bad as it might have been.
Osrius comes in last, who does not have dark vision, I don't think.
No, he does
He
not.
does not. But
he,
I
like,
have dancing lights.
You hear him like slide out of the end of the tunnel, like you hear like thunk thunk of his like boots hitting the ground, and then a half a second later you hear a third like thunk, and he goes, "Oh," and he goes, "I tried to stand up all the way."
And I'll use dancing lights to like illuminate.
You illuminate. You see that he's like kind of close to the edge where like the pipe rounds off. So he's like, he stood up and just like slammed his head into the top of the pipe. As he moves into the center, he's able to straighten up like most of the way.
All right, let's get as far away from this pipe as possible. There must have been at least a dozen soldiers coming.
So you see from where you are standing, you came down, from like behind, and then there is a tunnel that goes in either direction at a slight curve, which you kind of almost it sort of looks like it matches the curvature of like the wall above you that you guys know you like sort of went into.
Miss Highhaven, if you have any direction we can go.
She says, I don't have intimate knowledge of the layout of the network here, but what I do know is that we should be able to head along in either direction and eventually find another throughput to take us deeper in, and then we'll have to find access back up once we have bypassed the entire depth of the outer wall above.
We have a vague idea of like which direction we just came from, right? So like, or more.
Yeah.
Than
So if
vague
you look
idea.
at that
So,
purple dot, you guys basically just went like down and like a little bit inward. So your dot is kind of more like this now. You're sort of like under where you know the wall to be above you, and like from the orientation that you're facing with like the pipe that you climbed down behind you, the way that you came from on the streets above would be like left, and like right is heading in the direction of like beneath the Grand Plaza and the courtyard and stuff above.
Let's go right then. I'd rather explain myself to a bunch of Nivirian soldiers than get further away from the Parliament building.
I'm going to use my dancing lights to make a string of torchlight.
Okay.
And have it strung out in front of us as we go. I believe it's up to 120 feet range. It's a 10-foot radius light, and it can be up to 20 feet apart from each other. And I think I get how many orbs? 4 orbs. So I'll just have them like spaced 20 feet apart, just to give some like ahead of time knowledge for Oz to like help see in the thing in case there's any issues, and also to hopefully trigger preempt some people sneaking around corners on us trying to attack the torches that are definitely not where we're standing.
Just gonna give you guys we don't need the exact specifics anymore, so I'm gonna scoot the map down in size a little bit so we can kind of get an overview here of what we're looking at. Okay. There's Niviria for you. Okay, so as we scale out from there, we know that you guys are sort of currently making your way through the sewer tunnel leading towards the grand. Let's see what angle makes it look like I'm pointing at that, like this. So the grand plaza there, trying to bypass that interior ring, which leads you to the upper ward, which is the last sort of line of defense before the walls of the castle keep itself, of Castle Mithlindian. If you guys will remember, I did flip this map one more time so that it would be at the right orientation for like where we were standing. It does technically go
the opposite direction.
This way. Actually, no, it doesn't. Does it? It's been so long since I had this on an actual table. I don't even have it anymore. Russell has it.
It's over there.
I think it goes.
If only the map maker added a compass rose.
Actually, is there one on the? I don't know if there might be one on there. I added a compass rose to some of them. That might have been before I was doing compass roses.
Oh, orientation's actually helpful. Who knew?
I want to say that the orientation has.
Brom is in the pause menu as he checks his map. There is
Walter's
not.
gonna eat 15 apples, 3 apple pies, 7
The river is
chickens.
on the right hand.
I believe the river is supposed to be on the west side of the city.
Okay,
I think
in that
this
case,
is the correct way.
I think that's right. Alright, now I gotta figure out how to make it look like that.
Or at the very least, this was the way it was sitting on the table when we played in front of me when we played live.
Is that how you just had it? Like that, right?
yeah.
Okay. Then I actually did have it in the right orientation. So this is the city. If you guys will remember, so like north of the city, from where you guys currently are, like north of the in the northeastern part of the city, up. There's no way I can point to it. Very outermost ring, northeastern piece. There is the Grand Excavation, or the Big Dig, as they call it, which is where you guys actually went down there. And so you'll remember you entered and you passed through a series of like a piece of this sewer network, and then into like a bunch of natural like cavern beneath, which eventually led into like semi-intact Invarian like corridors and tunnels and chambers beneath this city. So you guys know like what you are currently traversing is really only like the top layer of the like the many layers of crust that is beneath this this city as it has been built on top of the ruins of previous cities. You begin to move through the darkness, guided by Walter's dancing lights, and you really can hear nothing but the sound of your own sort of like slightly squishing footsteps as you move through these tunnels. Everybody go ahead and make, for me, a survival check.
Dirty 20, which seems fitting.
Okay.
Come on, roll another 2 on
15.
survival.
15.
18.
Oh, 19.
I'm going to make a roll for Osrius. Osrius also gets a 15. Somebody had an 18?
I had a 19.
19. Okay, so 18 and 19. Walter and Velza. As you guys make your way through this corridor in the darkness, eventually you guys can detect the faintest little bit of like movement to the air. There is a very slight directional breeze moving from behind you, like moving this way. So you're like walking with the motion of this air, and it sort of tips you off that there is a change in something coming up ahead. And what you find then is you come to a spot where like you begin to walk through like sort of piles of like detritus and organic matter, like leaves and moss and algae and gunk and probably worse stuff, kind of like cakes the sides of this tunnel at portions. And if not for the fact that you like feel this air moving and it kind of draws your attention in that direction, you probably would have missed it, as it's mostly like globbed over by gunk. But you find another entrance, another like offshoot side tunnel that leads towards what you are able to clock to be like further towards the interior of the city. It is about half the size of the one that you're in now. Not quite requiring like hands and knees, but for Osrius, hands and knees are probably necessary. But like, it is a low hunker to get through this to continue to move into this tunnel if you want to go that way.
Alar, you got Scooter handy? You want to see if you can scout it out a little bit?
Always. I send my celestial weasel forward.
Okay.
And park myself a bit and let myself see through his eyes.
Okay. So
I'll defend the Alar.
okay.
Get the markers.
Alar, you close your eyes. Your perception kind of like tunnels in, and you then see and hear. You like look up at yourself through the eyes of your familiar as Scooter sort of like turns and dashes into this little tunnel. What is he doing?
Basically, he's I'm sending him forward to find out. Does the tunnel collapse? Is there an offshoot that leads upward? So I will send him out up to about 100 feet, I guess.
Okay. Alrighty. Scooter moves about 20 feet through this tunnel, and it opens up into a larger chamber. It's very dark, so there's like a lot of the chamber is shrouded in gloom. He can just sort of make out that this seems to be like a hub where like a lot of different pipes like intersect. The center of the room, the part that he emerges onto, there is like a narrow walkable path that encircles like the large circular center of this room. What at first looks like just a big like chasm in the middle of this round room, in fact turns out to be like an opening into which he can detect like liquid and sludge and stuff is like coming from some of these other offshoot tunnels and like feeding into this central chamber and down into this like large circular area, which turns out to be kind of like a it's almost like a big drain that is just like full of like just a mushy, gunky, soupy like crud that is like filtering into this and then ostensibly like down and away from here into like a larger offshoot pipe that leads elsewhere. The walkway that leads encircles this space is only about 2 feet wide, so like traversable but like very carefully. There's no like guardrail or anything like that in here, and there are several options which look like they lead up and deeper into this space. So Scooter, kind of like you've taken him as far as the entrance of this chamber, and that is what he can see.
Okay, I will open my eyes. Okay.
What do
There's
your
a central
weaselly
hub
eyes
in
see?
there. There is a walkway. It's kind of tiny, no guardrails. Unfortunately, it looks like some of the pipes are actively doing sewage, and there is a very large drain in the center of the
You
chamber.
receive a mental jolt as on the other side of the that tunnel in that room, you feel Scooter like crushed out of existence.
And there's something in there that just killed him. Son of a...
You want me to light up the room?
We'll went out for Scooter.
I won't be able to recall him until I get a brazier again, but we got bigger fish to fry.
How big was the room roughly?
Probably 90 foot in diameter.
Can I see, like, if I look through that tunnel, can I like see to the other side?
Vaguely, you can see kind of the same, much more narrow perspective than what I described for Adam, but you can see that chamber is in there.
You want me to light up the room, or save the resources?
Better save the resources. We don't know what we're going to be getting into.
Feels like going first.
Feel like killing whatever the heck just crushed my familiar. Alar loads the hand crossbow and
I will help. So I'll
That was it.
follow Alar.
If we're going, we're going. I look at Lianna for a moment.
She says, steady on. I'm right behind you.
there are ways out of this chamber that point upwards. So I'm hoping one of those is clear enough for us to get out. But I don't know what attack Scooter, and might decide it wants to munch on us too.
Okay. You kind of like hunker down, and you guys are traversing through this narrow tube to this narrow pipe to get in deeper. Okay. You are able to do that unmolested. You get into the larger chamber. As I said, that walkway is only about 2 feet wide, so you can comfortably stand on it, but not a lot of maneuvering room around the edges. As you get into this room, Alar, make a perception check.
30. 30.
30. You come to your feet and like begin to shimmy to the side, and you get, as you get up to your full height, you can see down into this opening. It is perhaps 2 or 3 feet below the level of the stone lip that you're standing on. It is filled with like a brackish, gunk-filled, dark gray water. There is like a thick layer of organic matter, like gunked up and sort of foamy, kind of coating the top of this. And you see something not 10 feet from where you're standing. Vaguely like sort of slender and almost like serpentine, that had been like kind of poked out of the goop, goes like and slips back beneath the surface.
Hey. There's something in the water. Back against the wall of the chamber, Alar is going to start shimmying sideways toward one of the tunnels that leads up and out. Actually, wait a minute. Not specifically any one of them. Based upon where this room is and rough spatial sense, which of the tunnels that points outward and upward might take us closer to the Parliament building? And if I've got to roll for it, I will roll for it.
Is there a tunnel that says executive bathroom?
Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
I don't have a clue.
What you get?
That was a 6.
With a 6, you look for a sign that says like "Ye Old Royal Crapper." You do not find it. I think what I'll give you, even with a 6, is that you kind of figure, like, from where you're facing, sort of like the opposite, slightly to your right quadrant of this chamber is, you're pretty sure, like, towards city center.
Perfect. We just have to traverse half of the chamber. Wonderful.
The rest of you guys are able to kind of make your way into this chamber. Likewise, there is not enough room along this lip for you guys to go more than 1 deep, so you basically have to, kind of line up. Osrius comes last, with some degree of difficulty, as like he has trouble fitting himself through that pipe that you took to get in here, and he sort of like pulls his upper torso out and has to plant his hands on like either side of the wall to like muscle his body out of this. As he folds his legs under him and comes up and like stands against this wall, he looks at you and he says, "If the next pipe forward is smaller, I'm not going to be able to fit any further."
We'll find you a nice big tunnel to get out of here, Oz. I promise.
City people, tiny pipes for their tiny poops. Why? That's not an Osrius thing he would say.
Well, that might be.
It might be. So the group of you are now arrayed in this chamber.
Alar's gonna start heading around the side of the chamber. He's keeping an eye down in the water and pointing his crossbow at it, but also, flicking a gaze toward the, where he's placing his feet. Make sure he doesn't, take a header.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the same, but be keeping an eye to see if I see it again. And if I do, I'm gonna do something about it.
If it's big, I'm lighting up that entire whirlpool.
Okay, so why don't you guys make me perception checks as you proceed forward.
13.
Okay.
Can I make a performance check instead?
18.
11.
Okay.
16.
Oz gets an 8. Lianna gets a 19. Okay. So you guys begin moving your way across. At least two of you are like aiming ranged weapons into this brackish pool of water. As you guys make your way around, Osrius,
How big is the pool in general?
So the chamber's about 90 feet in diameter, I think I said. So the pool is, a little bit shy of that. It's pretty big. Osrius stops, and he says, "Wait." And he's kind of looking into the water, and he says, "I think something in there is talking to me."
What?
He shakes his head. He says, "I can hear." He taps his head. He says, "I can hear it."
What's it saying?
And he says, "It something about," and he kind of looks to the nearest offshoot pipe that's kind of at shoulder height for him, and there's some liquid kind of trickling down out of this that's is flowing down the side and then into this large receptacle in the center here, and he swipes his fingers at the liquid on the wall, and he kind of rubs his fingers together, sniffs, and then touches one of his fingers to his tongue, and he says, "It's blood from the battle above." He says, he kind of he looks, in there. He says, "I think it's hard to say. I don't think it likes it."
Tell it we're trying to stop more of that coming.
He's like, "I don't."
But think it.
And he's like,
Ugh.
Still no
as
sight of it?
no. As you guys are kind of watching Osrius, however, what happens is the first sight of it that you do get, though it beat your guys' perceptions, as you guys all kind of turn your attention to Osrius. Alar, who's the furthest away from him, your attention is snapped back as a tentacle comes out of the water, and is going to basically try to slam into you. It is going to roll an attack roll against you, and that is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. This tentacle comes out of the water, and basically like slams into your midsection with like a force as it coils around you.
All right. Uncanny dodge.
Okay. You will take. Would have been 6. You'll take 3 bludgeoning and would have been 5. Will be I guess 2 instead. 2 piercing.
Ouch.
And you are grappled and restrained. And I need you guys to roll initiative.
Before we, this is a quick, because would I get a moment before we roll initiative because it did what I was expecting it to do, and I was
It beat your guys' like perceptions to try and spot it, so that it basically just took a surprise round on you.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll those initiatives.
Oh, thank God. That's a 20, not natural 20.
Okay. All right.
My initiative is 21. Sorry.
21. Walter.
Damn it! I was hoping I was
Velza.
first.
Velza was what?
19.
19.
16.
16 is Walter. Very good.
Alar.
Sorry. Alar. High Haven. She gets a 13. And Osrius gets with his advantage, a 19 plus, I think, 3. Osrius gets a 22 somehow. Osrius is going to... So it gets its surprise round, and then we go into a regular round of initiative. Osrius is going to draw his axe, but he is... There are 4 people between him and where like this thing just lashed a tentacle out of the water and grabbed Alar, and he's not jumping in at this point. So he just is going to hold an action that if like something else that he can hit comes up, he will swing. Walter, that is going to bring us to you.
Sickening radiance in the center of the pool.
Okay. What is the diameter of the sickening radiance?
30-foot radius.
60-foot diameter. So
60 foot
you can
diameter.
hit the whole pool. Cool.
Basically, yeah. I'm gonna fill that pool with sadness, and hope that at least part of the tentacle is sticking out.
Sure.
So
what is
the? It's a DC 15 con save.
Con save. Okay. All right. So you cast this in. Is this a save or suck?
So this is a concentration spell, and it will stay there for up to 10 minutes.
But like, if it makes the save, does nothing happen to it?
As long as it's in it, it keeps having to make it at the end of its turn.
Okay, that's fine.
Or, sorry, at the start of its turn.
But it's not like a half damage type of thing, right?
No, it's either nothing or suffer.
So you cast this spell, and like the pool now is like radioactive green coming up out of this. Alrighty, Brom, that brings us to you.
Okay, how many people are in a 20-foot cube from like Alar and the tentacle?
I'm right next to Alar.
So
I followed Alar directly.
Let me plot out this bad boy here, because you guys are all within basically 5-foot squares of each other, right? So we'll call this Alar, Brom, Walter, Velza, High Haven, Osrius. So Alar, Brom. So Alar, and then it's 5 feet to Brom, and then from Brom it is 5 feet to Walter, 10 feet to Velza, 15 feet to High Haven, 20 feet to Osrius, and the creature is, the tentacle anyway, is like 5 feet from you, coming out of the water, 10 feet from you ish.
Okay, so I can get everybody in a 20-foot cube. Is that what it's like? tentacle and every person?
5,
Sounds
10.
like-
Because we're on a curve that's throwing this off, and because I'm like visualizing this in my head, I think. So if you put it 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10. I think if it's a cube, I think the way this is going to work is you can hit Alar, Tentacle, yourself, Walter, and Velza, and Highhaven and Osrius are going to be out of the cube because the way the curve will take them will put them outside of like where that square lands.
That's fine. I'm just trying to get as many people as possible. So, that being said, I am going to cast Fairy Fire on everybody in the cube, so that A, if the monster fails, we can see the monster, and B, if somebody gets sucked into this pool, they will glow.
Interesting. Okay.
Sickened Gradients has a similar effect, except it adds
And I think
exhaustion
everybody,
and pain.
all the humans can just choose to fail, right?
Yeah, I opt to fail.
Does
this
Fairy
save.
Fire specify you can see? Does it specify it goes around corners and things like that?
Does any creature in the area when the spell is cast?
Okay.
Doesn't say anything.
Okay, so you don't have to see it. Okay.
I don't necessarily. Yeah, I don't have to see it.
Cool.
But, like, I
Dexterity
can see
save?
the tentacle.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Dexterity.
All right, it fails. Are the rest of you choosing to fail?
Yes.
I'm gonna opt to fail. If
I
it seems like
will-
he's trying to get us on a flag for not going in the water.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
basically
Yeah.
like so we
I-
can see the monster, and if it pulls somebody in, we
Keep
can
in
at least,
mind-
like, see them glow.
That's what I'm
Just
not sure of.
Full disclosure to you guys. Keep in mind, if you are glowing, it has advantage to hit you.
And
I'm
we also
aware
have
of that.
advantage to hit it.
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna not choose to fail. I'm gonna try to make the save because I can't lose concentration. I can't afford to lose concentration on the thing that might be
Okay.
damaging.
So Walter and Velza, you guys can make a roll to try and save if you'd like. And
I don't
Brom-
save, so it's
Okay.
fine.
What is
Brom
your-
and
that
Alar
doesn't matter.
choosing
It
to
doesn't
fail.
matter.
Does not
It's
matter.
16.
Yeah, I got a 9.
There's no way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
all
everybody,
glowing.
you guys
Yeah, it's
begin to
16.
illuminate. What color illumination are you choosing?
The
anything but
classic
purple?
violet. Yeah, the
Classic
violet.
violet. Okay. The tentacle. So the fairy
I
fire.
can't do multiple colors, right?
No, I think it's just one.
Okay, because I was gonna
If-
say I would make the people glow one color.
The fairy fire ripples outward from you, like coating everything in this glowing outline of illumination. It strikes Walter, it strikes Velza on the one side of you, it strikes Alar on the other side of you, and it like clings and rounds over Alar and then wraps around this tentacle and like rushes downward and plunges down into the water. And beneath the already vaguely glowing water, you now begin to see the... it's still partially obscured because there's a lot of, like, physical debris and shit in your way. But it begins to glow from beneath the water. What you see is a outline of this tentacle goes back and down about another 5 feet into the water, where it intersects into like what appears to be like a larger trunk of some sort, and there is a shape of something that is roughly the size of... I'm trying to think of like what a thing that you guys would have like a frame of, what your characters would have a frame of reference for. For players, it's like rhinoceros sized. For you guys, it's like 2 real big cows put together for your
Also,
characters. like
Brom
things you've
saves,
seen.
so Brom doesn't glow.
Okay. So there is like it's got like kind of a squat formed body. Like you don't see any like distinctive like neck and head to this shape. It's just sort of like this oblong kind of lumpy mass that has several more of these tentacles branched off of that like main trunk, currently like writhing around beneath the water, and you kind of see what vaguely look like feet. That is what you can see beneath this water near you guys.
So it definitely doesn't look like an animal. It's definitely some sort of monster.
It's some sort of monster.
Okay. So speak with animals is not going to help.
Okay. Anything else, Brom?
Speak with garbage disposal.
I'll give. Did the tentacle release Alar?
Nope. It is like
Okay, then I'll
grabbed him.
I'll give Alar Bardic Inspiration,
Okay.
and that's it.
That's good. I think I
That's
also
1d8.
had a roll that I never got a chance to take. Adding a proficiency bonus. So I'm gonna need all the help I can get. So thank you.
Sometimes I buff.
Sometimes you
That's a
buff.
shirt.
Sometimes you buff. Sometimes you luff.
I'm hoping not to laugh.
Okay. That was Brom. Velza, that brings us to you.
Remembering that Walter just asked me not 10 minutes ago to stop using fire, I'm going to Eldritch Blast at the tentacle holding Alar, hoping to sever
Use
it.
fire.
Just shoot for the tentacle itself.
Oh, this has to look amazing. It's like a nuclear waste dump spinning around with a tentacle coming out of it.
A 15
That's also
to hit?
glowing with a monster shape.
15 to hit. That will hit.
Oh, okay.
It's like a 90s PS1 game.
8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. And what spell is this? Sorry.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch
Walter
Blast.
said, "Don't use fire," so I'm using a weaker spell.
You fire off the Eldritch Blast. What color is Velza's Eldritch Blast? What's it look like?
It's most of Velza's spells are the same green that I've described
Okay.
before. It's kind of
So it like
High Haven Eyes ish.
blasts off, strikes into this tentacle, which is sort of like, it strikes the like, it's this kind of muddy brown, like puke colored hide of this thing, which is extremely leathery, and as the Eldritch Blast hits it, it like kind of like jiggles grossly, but it definitely, like, you definitely score the hide of this thing. That is going to bring us to Alar, who is currently grappled and restrained.
Alright, it's athletics to get out, right?
You need to make a
Grapple. At least it's not 100
yes,
pages of
an
rules like it
athletics
was in
check to get
3.5.
Let's see.
It can also be acrobatics.
Can it be acrobatics?
A grappled creature can use its action to escape. To do so, it must succeed in a strength, athletics, or dexterity acrobatics check.
Sure,
contested
go for
with
it.
a
Okay,
strength
that
check,
I will definitely
contested with the
use.
athletics strength check, whatever it is.
So I will
Grappling.
use that previous add your proficiency bonus to get a little bit better, and I am going to add. It's a D8 for inspiration, right? Bardic?
Yes.
Okay, so that gives me a whole whopping 2. So plus 8. Here goes nothing.
2's a crit today.
Yeah, you roll the 2.
So
Did he roll a 2, or
it's-
did he...
No, I.
Gotcha.
Oh, it
let's
just
see,
popped up as a
8
2.
plus
correct.
6 is 14.
A 14 total?
Yes.
You manage to, like, wiggle your way out of this thing's grasp, but I am going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Do that. 19.
19. You wiggle out of this thing's grasp and, like, get out of the tentacle, and find that, like, getting purchased back on your feet on this narrow ledge is like, oh shit, and you like kind of slip and then re-secure yourself, as fighting on this narrow ledge and not falling into the water is going to be extremely precarious. Alrighty, Lianna Highhaven. Lianna Highhaven is also going to hold her action, as she's also too far away to get at this this thing from where she is.
She does have the light crossbow I gave her. So.
That is true. She'll maneuver that out. She's sort of like, and will take a shot. She will miss, unfortunately. So she tries to like maneuver this thing off her back on this confined space, and she takes a shot, and it's just sort of like goes into the water, but it doesn't look like it connects. That is going to bring us to the creature.
At the beginning of its turn, it takes a DC 15 Constitution save.
Okay.
As long as any part of it is in that nonsense sphere.
Alrighty. Okay. You don't see your creepy green light having any effect thus far on this thing. And it proceeds. The tentacle that is now like above and sort of writhing around as Alar wiggled out of it is joined by two more, which come like up out of the water. And it is going to make 2 attacks with those tentacles. It's going to attack Alar again, and it's going to attack Brahm as the 2 closest to it. Alar. That is only an 11 to hit you, so I believe that misses.
That's a miss.
Brahm, it's a 26.
Jesus.
Would have been a crit if crits weren't 2s tonight. But it does hit you. So Brahm, you are going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage and 8 points of piercing damage. For a total of 15 points of damage, you're going to have to make a concentration saving throw on Fairy Fire. And you are grappled and restrained.
20, not natural.
Okay, you maintain concentration on Fairy Fire. The creature continues to be illuminated. It is going to make its 3rd attack by trying to bite. And it is going to come...
Tentacle?
Nope. With the what you see to be like the mouth of it, as those 3 tentacles are kind of like above the ground, and then it breaches, kind of like a whale. Like the maw of it comes up, and it is this eyeless, just like gargantuan, toothy maw, dripping with like ooze and goop and like sewer water running off of it, and it just like and tries to bite down on Walter, who I believe is glowing, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, it rolled a 5 and a 2.
Yeah. Wait, it has advantage. It takes the 5.
It takes the 5! It doesn't crit!
Bullshit rules are working in our favor somehow.
That's so good! So that's only an 11 to hit. I think it misses.
We've yeah, it misses.
That's very funny.
We've crit on a disadvantage, and we've managed to avoid a crit on an advantage.
Happy Tuesday!
Oh my
Tuesday,
god.
everybody.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
Here's the Tilly. You see the toothy maw is now making an appearance on the street.
Oh god, was that another pun?
All right.
A bunch of 2s in his mouth.
Can I help you?
Griff just needs attention.
Griff
That's
needs
nice.
attention. Yeah. Did I make too much noise and now you need attention? Yeah, I know. I know, buddy. Okay. That is its turn. Brahm is now grappled and restrained. But everybody's concentration is maintained. It's glowing. The pool is toxic.
It's a strength check to...
It is Osrius' turn. Who still can't do anything. Actually, Osrius is going to start going the other way at this point. He's just like... and he's going to start running the opposite direction, like long ways, to try and come around to the other side of Walter. He'll use his... he's not going to dash, as dashing would involve a dex check to not fall in the water. So he'll move 30 feet... and get like a quarter of the way around the thing here. Walter, that's going to bring us to you.
Well, he's I assume it's if he tried to bite me, he's like in grappling range. So
Yeah, so like the tentacles, like the mouthy center part is like currently like going back into the water right in front of where you're standing, and then the tentacles are kind of like reached out in different directions around
are they
you.
able to be more than is any of them more than 5 feet away, so I don't have disadvantage on range attacks?
One of them
it
near
is-
Alar would be like the
I say it is glowing, so like if there's one I can make a ranged attack at advantage on, I'm going to do so. Otherwise, I'm
I
not really sure.
think I don't know. I've never encountered this because like the tentacles are not distinct objects apart from like the creature, and the creature is within 5 feet of you. So I don't know if you can make like a non-disadvantaged attack against like a part of it that happens to be this way.
Well, I mean it's glowing either way, unless it's
So disadvantage would just be a straight attack.
So you make a straight attack, and I will try and figure out what. Yes.
all right.
hello?
Well, it's gonna get Eldritch Blasted twice, so
Sure. Roll the hit.
an 18 and a 22.
Both of those hit.
I have a question.
What's the question?
Can a 2 on the damage die be critical?
No.
That's a 2 and a 5. That's 7 points of Eldritch Blast as I hit it with 2 beams. No other additional effects this time, though.
It's just like they plink into it, and it hit. It does not react in any big way. It's extremely like dense hide seems to just kind of like absorb the shock of the strike. All right, Brahm, that is going to bring us to you. Oh, go ahead.
For my movement, is there anywhere like we can go
You
that's
can-
not this thing? Like
you-
into a tunnel, up a tunnel?
You can go. You can try and go like around your companions to like head for, like a tunnel, if you wanted to. Like leapfrogging somebody is going to require a dexterity check not to fall into the, into the drink.
Okay. Would that require an action or just like part of the movement would require a dex check?
As part of the movement, we'll call it like difficult terrain, essentially.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get around Alar and like try to get further around. The other direction.
Okay, so you're gonna have to get around Brahm first.
Oh, I thought I was right next to Alar.
It's Alar, Brahm, Walter, Velza, Highhaven, Osrius was the order.
I thought it was after Alar. That's fine. Never mind. If there's 2 people, I'm not gonna bother.
Okay.
Just gonna try to like stand and fight and hope for the best.
Okay. Very good. That is gonna bring us to Brahm. So Brahm, you are grappled and restrained.
Okay. So it's saving throw to
To
Strength
try and
and
break
okay.
3 is a strength or athletics.
Athletics or
or acrobatics.
Or sorry, acrobatics or athletics.
Yeah, it's a check, not a save.
Okay, it's gonna be an acrobatics. It's better.
Wiggle to victory. It's the only way.
That is a 18.
Yes. Was that an athletics or a strength?
Athletic.
Sorry, athletics or
acrobatics.
acrobatics? It was acrobatics. Okay. So you two sort of like wiggle, shimmy your way out of this thing's grip and get free. So that's your action. You have movement if you want. Again, to leapfrog over Alar to continue moving, you're gonna have to make a dex check to not like slip and fall in.
No, I'm not gonna
Okay.
do that. I don't think I'm gonna do anything else. No.
Alrighty.
Plan for next round though.
Okay. Velza, that brings us to your turn.
2 more Eldritch Blasts at it.
Alrighty. Roll to hit at straight roll this time because now it's popped its body up out and it is within 5 feet of you because it's at
Okay.
Walter.
Why can I never remember anything? 21 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
And then 5 points of damage for the first one, and I'm gonna hit it again. Hopefully.
Okay, roll to hit again.
17 to hit,
Yes, also hits.
and 6 more points of damage.
Okay. You successfully hit it twice with Eldritch Blasts. You kind of hear from beneath the water, it sort of was like, and sort of like a bunch of little bubbles come up. And that's going to bring us, Alar, to you. You are free of the creature. There is a tentacle waving in your face.
I am going to shimmy a little bit to get out of
Brahm's way.
disadvantage range, so I can take a shot with my hand crossbow at it.
Oh, okay. You move down a little bit.
So I can fire at advantage. Better of the two is an 18.
That will hit.
Alright, sneak attack, because it is engaged. Well, it's also advantage. Let's see. 19 points of piercing damage.
Okay. You fire that crossbow bolt into one of those tentacles, and the tentacle sort of like recoils, sort of like splishes beneath the water.
You will come out no more!
Okay. That's going to bring us to Lianna Highhaven, who is going to take a note from Osrius and start moving counter or clockwise the other way to try and start heading around the other side. And that will bring us back to the creature. It is going to make another 3 attacks. This time it's going to go after Brahm, Walter, and Velza, because those are the
One
3
save,
who are in its
please, at the
range.
beginning of its turn.
Oh, yep.
DC 15 con save.
Alrighty, yes. Still nothing seemed to be, doesn't seem to be hurting this thing.
Guys, this thing has a plus 15 con save.
So it launches a tentacle at Brahm and a tentacle at Walter. Brahm, that's only going to be a 10 to hit, which I believe misses. And Walter, that is a 25 to hit.
Jesus.
I
was like, I'm gonna use shield. I'm not gonna use shield.
You're going to take 4 points of bludgeoning damage and 4 points of piercing damage as this tentacle, lashes around your upper torso. It's got these, barbed, proboscis on it, and it just, clamps into you. You are grappled and restrained. And then with its mouth, it again lunges out of the water and attempts to bite at Velza. That is a 17 to hit.
Oh.
Oh, who died?
That was, is it phone time?
It just blooped. Sorry. That hits. 17.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
12 points of piercing damage. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay.
That's upsetting.
It's not great. It's only 12.
Okay. You are bitten into by this thing, and it pulls away and splashes back down, and you just you're pierced in a dozen small places by this thing's needle-like pincer teeth, and you just see the sewage water and garbage dripping from it, and it coats your front, and you know it's in those wounds. And I will make a note of that.
Cute. Great.
She's gonna become a were trash
Oh.
monster.
Yeah. That is going to bring us to the top of the order with Osrius, who will make another movement, get halfway around, and that's his turn. Walter. Did you make a con
grappled.
save?
I get to make it at advantage because of reasons, and I made both either way.
Okay, cool. So you maintain creeping green light. That is going to bring us then to Walter's turn.
All right. I've watched the other two wiggle to victory.
Yep.
Nah, it's not gonna do anything. That'd be silly. It'd be silly if I could weaponize these cartoonishly hot peppers I've been having in my inventory this whole time. We are. Yeah, I'm gonna try to wiggle out of the grapple because I don't want to go into the light.
Strength or.
We're gonna acrobatics
Dex.
away because I don't want to do this at -1.
Okay.
Doesn't matter because it's a 9 total.
All right, you are unsuccessful in pulling yourself free from the creature's grip. Try as you might to wiggle your way.
More hip action! More hip action!
Don't say that when I'm touching a tentacle.
Brum, that is going to bring us to your turn as you see Walter is struggling to pry this thing off of himself.
Perfect. Just as I was hoping would happen.
Okay.
Because he's next to me and it's in melee range, correct? The tentacle is.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna roll to hit.
It's advantage.
Yep. The first one was an 18 plus 8, so
That
a
hits,
lot.
yeah, that hits.
Okay. So that's total of 5 points of regular damage.
Okay.
But, and remember that when you answer this question, that we are family. Is this creature able to be frightened?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I am going to use Signor Chapasso's Disheartening Strike.
Okay.
When you hit a creature with an attack using this weapon, you can fill the target with unsettling dread. The target has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes before the end of your next turn. The creature ignores this effect if it's immune to frightened condition. Once you use the property, you can only do it can't do it until next dusk.
Okay. So it is if it fails, or if it is not immune to frighten, it becomes frightened
It becomes frightened.
and has disadvantage on its next saving throw.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know why Walter needed to be grappled for that to be the
Because
case.
I needed to be in melee range.
Okay.
If he had broken out and its tentacles slurped
Oh,
away,
gotcha.
I wouldn't be able to hit it.
Okay. Velza, that's gonna bring us to you as Brom brings out Signor Chapasso and hacks into this Chapasso. Say it like I'm saying it. Chapasso.
Damn it! Same as you!
It
Who's
is your
on
turn,
first?
Velza.
Since Lianna backed away and she was next to me, I'm going to back away a little bit, just so I get out of the too close to hit it range with my spell.
Okay. So you're stepping 10 feet away then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so I can keep the advantage on it with the fairy fire. Oh, okay. 18 plus stuff to hit it
Yep.
with the first Eldritch Blast. 9 points of damage.
Okay.
Again, 18 plus stuff to hit it.
Yep.
And 8 points of damage.
Alrighty.
And I'm just gonna scream at it saying, "Keep your dirty teeth to yourself." And starts cursing in Sylvan, just streams of Sylvan cursing coming out of her.
Okay.
No, I don't speak that one. I can guess, but no, don't speak that one.
Okay. So you guys pelt spells and magic into this thing as it's got a grip on Alar. Highhaven will... Walter. Highhaven is going to take the chance. She's going to try to dash to do this. She's going to make a dex save. She succeeds. So she is 3/4 of the way around. She only has one more regular movement to get over there. She like comes around, and you guys hear from like the other side. She you like hear her call out. She goes, "Mr. Osiris, flatten yourself." And then she like, you kind of hear like a swishing noise. You're not sure what she does, but she like gets around Osiris somehow and continues to run. That is going to bring us to the creature, which
Save, please.
will make a save at disadvantage.
Oh yes. DC 15 con saves.
Jason.
Friggin' 2.
Jason, you poor sweet summer child. It rolled a 4 and a 2. Thus, by Tuesday rules, it crits. It gets a 20.
It crits a save.
Interesting, because it can't crit a save, but does a 2 count as a 20, or does it fail? I think...
No, we said it only counts as crits, not as 20s.
Doesn't
Right.
count as 20.
We've-
So
We've been using 20s as
Because
20s.
20s weren't counting as 2s, yeah.
Yeah.
So it takes the 2, which would be a crit, but you can't crit on a save. So it fails. So it will take the damage. Roll the creepy green light. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
You know what? Just for this, I'm gonna roll the creepy green light dice.
Hell yeah! Roll them creepy
I
green
was
light
gonna say you
dice.
should roll the big
It's a big
D20.
D20.
Roll the big D20.
I need to roll this twice as 4d10. This is gonna be all. If it's all 2s, can it just die?
If it's all 2s, if you
It
roll,
explodes.
if you roll 4 2s, I will kill it immediately. Sure. No, we will not do that.
All right. That's a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 10. That's a 16.
Okay.
16 points of radiant damage and 1 level of exhaustion.
And one
So
level
now
of
its
exhaustion.
attacks and saves are at disadvantage. And it's also, the whole thing's glowing green now.
And it is double glowing. So here's the sequence of events. Senor Chopasso hits it as Velza's spell comes in. The creature goes like, from underwater, it goes like in garbage monster terror. It then gets like irradiated by the creepy green light. And then in rage, it takes Walter and picks him up and slams him as hard as it can into the stone floor.
Yeah, that's fair.
Walter, you need to make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw for me.
Alright. It's a 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So you succeed on that. So you take... You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage, and you like manage to like turn your head in such a way that like part of the tentacle shields you from it like braining you against the like the side of the ground. But it does in fact use its movement speed to try and descend.
Oh boy.
Which I believe means you need to make a contesting strength check against it to be moved against your will. If I'm recalling the rules. If I'm wrong, tough. That's how we're playing it.
Okay, you know what? Fine.
Make a contesting strength check.
Can it be contesting wiggle strength instead, or wiggle test instead?
Nope, strength check.
All right. Well, to the depths of hell I go.
Can you beat a 23?
There is no way in this world that I am able
You
to beat 23
are
unless I have
pulled-
bardic inspiration.
You are pulled into the water and the creepy green light. Go ahead and make your own Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, I rolled a 20, 18 plus 2. I saved that.
Okay, good.
So I'm maintaining concentration.
So now roll another saving throw to see if you get zapped by your own spell as it pulls you into the water.
No. That's what I mean. Like I rolled my con save.
Gotcha.
20 for the con save for that, and then I rolled another con save that was also a 20.
Gotcha. Okay, so you maintain the creepy green light. You don't get burned by it, but you are now pulled underwater.
Yes.
And the group of you see the... Are you glowing? You're glowing, right?
I am glowing.
The glowing
It's
form of
glowing.
Walter, wrapped in the glowing form of the creature, begin to descend beneath the water, and as the light becomes dimmer and harder to see beneath the murk of the water, and you begin to lose sight of the pair of these as they are dragged beneath. That's where we'll call an end to tonight's session.
There is still a nice radiation zone maintained, so as far as you can tell, I'm still alive. You just can't go in after me. Well, it has one level of exhaustion.
It does
I
have
did
one level of
something.
exhaustion.
Oh,
And
Hang
it's
on a
probably
second.
until my next turn.
its strength check would be at disadvantage.
Yes, it would. Go ahead and actually roll your strength check this time.
A 7.
No, not even close. You're pulled into the water. Okay, well,
The best
I
I
tried
could
to help.
possibly do is a 19. I assume this thing can easily roll a 10 plus. So.
I was gonna say, swear to God, if he rolled a 2 at that last second,
we had to turn the stream off immediately. Well, hey, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you guys at home for coming and stopping by and hanging out with us this evening. We will be back next week, 7 p.m.
oh God,
Don't tune in at 7 a.m. on Twitch. We will be not here. We'll be back with the Pirates version of our campaign, the other half of the campaign, and then back the week after that for the continuation of the Delve Requisite crew. So, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to our sponsors, Cardboard Castle and Little Dragon Corp. Thank you to Probo for having us, letting us stream here. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
tune in 2 weeks from now when we
Blub,
kill the
blub,
Trash
blub,
Kraken.
blub.
Hey, Trash Kraken, happy
Trash
Tuesday.
Oh, Trash Kraken, new bandmate.
Trash
call me.
Kraken is very good. Good night, everybody.